So I've been doing these lives, these wellness lives for, maybe probably a couple months now. And I have been always talking about freeing the butterfly. I've been talking about energy. I've been talking about all things holistic. Usually every week, if you're new here or if you're listening from the outside, I come to you with some sort of wellness topic because I really believe in being able to dial into yourself and just giving yourself the time that you need in order to be happier, to be more content in your life, and to also just see how you relate to the rest of the world. Okay. Now, this week I decided that I wanted to come on and just talk to you more about the birth of the book Freeing the Butterfly. It has been out for we're going on to 6 years now. Myself and my co-author Michelle Cornish decided that we wanted to write a book to help people to be the happiest version of themselves. Okay. And that's all holistically. So this is the book here, Freeing the Butterfly. It has been in existence for 6 years, but I wanted to talk a little bit about my story around this. So there is a portion in the beginning of the book where we talk about sort of like our core story and why we decided that we wanted to bring the world a book that is not only work through, but has a holistic hum to it. Okay. So in the book, I talk about my story about infertility. Okay, so in 2016, it was 2 years after my first little boy. I was having a really, really hard time conceiving again. Okay, now in the book, I talk about struggling with infertility and also struggling with depression. If you have gone through something like infertility, you know that it can be very shameful. Okay, in my mind, I had already conceived a baby one time, so why couldn't I do that again? I had a lot of shame around not being able to conceive again. I was surrounded by people that had really really amazing vitality when it came to their fertility. I have a sister that had no issues with her fertility at all. You know, I come from generations of women that can have a lot of children. And for me, this was a real hard stick point, okay? Although I had one child and I was very, very grateful for him, I could not have any more children. And I did go through the process of trying to go through IVF and all those things, but essentially I was so depressed and so heartbroken that I decided to stop trying altogether. Okay, it did not look good. The future was bleak for me and having another baby. So at that time, I was really struggling. Okay, so in the book, I say that I'm struggling with infertility and depression. What I don't say in the book at the beginning, because of just trying to be brief and trying to give people kind of an overall of why I decided that I wanted to write a book with my co-author, I didn't say that I had a very deep abandonment issue. Okay, now this is something that lives with me and has lived with me in my life, and is something that I have been working at figuring out from that moment in 2016. Because the fact is that I had a family that would come and go as they pleased. They would come usually to celebrate the things that were really, really valued to them, and then they would leave when things didn't feel so good for them. And that was a them issue, right? But I really took that internally, and that really became a really huge, huge part of my energy, right? I was feeling quite abandoned a lot through my life, right? And I was watching this cycle over and over again, not really understanding that is what I was experiencing. So in the envelope of depression, there was shame, there was abandonment, there was the inability to be able to cope with those really deep seated feelings of having abandonment in my life, right? and really trying to please everyone around me, right? Really trying to make sure that I contortioned and I did everything so that people wouldn't leave me. So you can see that this cycle can be difficult. If you have, now Andy's saying that she understands me, if you have had these sorts of experiences where you have been kind of flowing through life trying to fill other people's pockets of needs, right? And not really focusing on yourself and really guiding your way to be able that you're pleasing others, I want you to, I don't know, just put a heart emoji down. You don't have to talk about your experience. But this is something that really, really kicked me into gear to look for something holistic. So I knew that I was depressed. I knew that I had shame, I had abandonment, I had things within myself that were not serving me and that were making me feel, to be honest, like a big piece of crap, right? Because I could never actually fill anybody's cup enough for them to give me that recognition that I needed. Not really knowing that I needed to give myself that first, right? And when the process of like trying to fill everybody's cup and not thinking like maybe I need to think about these things for myself, that I was really in a cycle of just being so unhappy and depressed all the time, but always having a happy face on, you know, always trying to prove to people that I was worthy when really the worthiness had to come in from myself. Okay. So I was at that point, I had had enough. Like enough was enough for me, right? So I was like, no, okay, I had two options. I could go to the doctor and I could get some pills that could help me with depression, right? I could definitely do that. That is a part of taking care of yourself. But what I knew, like intuitively and instinctively, was that I needed to go deep down into myself to figure out how can I help myself? How can I stop this cycle? And I just went with that. So then I started looking for holistic things. Now, please do not understand me incorrectly here. I think that medication can definitely have a great impact on helping you to help you get through the really, really hard parts. What I'm here to sort of facilitate is that you need to look at things holistically also, because the fact is the medication helps with our psyche, right? The medication helps with the things that are going on in our brain. How about our body? How about our energy? Right? So that brought me to looking for holistic things. So I ran into a practitioner that does Reiki and Beam, okay? And I went through that process, okay? My life in 1 year changed tenfold because I was not afraid to look at myself and say, you know what, listen, like, I really hate feeling this way, so I need to do something about that. Whatever it takes. And it's scary and it's hard to come to that. But when you do, something goes off in your brain. There's a switch that goes off in your brain that says, okay, well, I got to do something about this now. So let's see, how can I be better? So I worked with a practitioner for about a year and I was changed tenfold. Okay. I started to look at my wounds. I started to look at things that were really, really going on within me that I had never experienced before. I started to say to myself, okay, my change is going to start with me first, right? And that's how I ended up getting into the realm of being a Reiki master. So 6 years ago, when I became a Reiki master, I said, like, this is my path. This is something that I have to do to help other women, right? I have been through a lot in my life. If I can dive deep into myself and do work holistically, then I can be a proponent for that change for other people. So that's what I did. That's what I focused on doing. So the birth of the book is me and my co-author coming together, having not the same story, but just wanting to really have a change and go internally to do that, and to invite other people to recognize that maybe they're stuck and they want to do something different, and being able to pick up a guide that is not only holistic but laid out in a way that you can process that stuff and do this work on your own if that's what you so chose. So we have put together 8 chapters. We start from being recognizing you're stuck and having holistic things to do. So we use tools like journaling, like meditation, like learning more about your energy centers, which are your chakras. So, Reiki is a technique to help with stress and relaxation, and promotes relaxation, but it also promotes healing, all right? And if your energy is closed, like mine was, you can have a lot of things that are happening with you physically, emotionally, okay? Your chakras hold all of that energy. And if it's open, you're more able to be happier, more content. You're more able to move through life uninterrupted, right? And that's really what I help people do, right? Now there's also Beam, which I did, which helped me with my trauma portion, but I'll come to you another day to talk to you about that, because that is a completely different process. But in terms of Reiki, I'm just going to give you a small breakdown of that, okay? You have 7 main chakras in your body, okay? Your densest chakra is at the base of your spine, and you also have so there's 7 chakras that go from the base of your spine all the way up to the top of your head. Each chakra holds a specific energy, and those specific energies help you to move through life in an efficient way. So today we talked about our root chakra, all right? Our root chakra is all about safety, feeling safety, self-preservation, okay? So this can be anything to do with the kind of boundaries you set for yourself, how you feel about money, how you just feel in your world, your ability to feel safe and secure, and your ability to be able to stand up for yourself, okay? And those types of energies live within our body, and they help us to feel more secure in who we are. So think about taking care of your physical body, right? You go to the gym every day, you do exercise in order to get energy, to get your muscles to get stronger, right? There's also a mental portion that helps with that. How about your energetic body? That's exactly what we have to do. Reiki is massaging your energetic body and making sure that you're staying well. So, having your physical body and your energetic body and your body mentally taken care of, right? Or your mental state taken care of, it is part of your package, right? So I was reflecting this morning on all the clients that I've had in the 6 years that I've been a Reiki master, and I wanted to kind of compile a list of things that people have come to me with, that I have been able to help them through Reiki, Beam, as well as different things that you can do in your life. And so having like a coaching piece, because when you come to me for Reiki, you don't just get the energy work. We also sit down and we talk about what is going on in your life right now. How are you feeling? Do you like what has been going on repetitively that you think might be contributing to the things that you are going through? Because I see it as like a full circle moment, right? You need to actually know what's happening in your life so that you can connect how your energy meshes with that, okay? So the overarching themes that I have had in the past 6 years of working with clients is people that are stressed due to family situations, okay? And that's just overall stress. That can be anxiety, that can be stress, that can be, the things around us that are affecting us. Lost sense of purpose, of self. Okay, so I've had a lot of people come to me and say, you know what, Josie, I have been through so much. I used to do this, and this, but it doesn't work for anymore. I really feel like I've lost my purpose. What am I supposed to be doing here? Maybe a lot of women that come to me have been moms, right? We tend to lose ourselves in motherhood because we are giving so much of ourselves to our children that we lose who we are. So I've had a lot of people come to me and been like, I've been serving this child for X amount of years and I have been giving everything as a mother that I literally don't even know what I stand for anymore, right? Put a heart down if you've had that experience. I know that I have, right? Another thing is just unprocessed family and family trauma, really being in that people-pleasing state, really seeing things around you and things happening to you and not being able to face those things or tell those people that doesn't work for you, struggling internally and not really having anyone check up on you, or having the strength to stand in your power and say, no, that doesn't work for me. I love you, but that doesn't work for me, right? Another one is autoimmune disorder. So I did have one client that has an autoimmune disorder. She came to me for relaxation for her body, and she was very skeptical when she came to me, but I knew her very well, and she gave me a chance to help her. And she even says that she didn't know that Reiki or energy could help her in this way, but she was really surprised at how much relief she had. Now, if we go back to what I told you about Reiki and how it is good for stress and promotes relaxation, although her autoimmune disease is always going to be with her, she was able to realize that she can have something that brings her relaxation and brings her peace, that allows everything to just sort of feel a little bit more in flow for her, right? So I was really, really proud of her for opening her mind to that, because some people are not on the holistic boat, I understand. But think about how you can open up your mind to bringing something new in that might be able to help you, right? Sorry, I have lots of notes. Another one was, I had one of my very first clients was just trying to find her voice, right? So we know that in our energy system, we do have our throat chakra that allows us to find our voice. When that chakra is open, it allows us to speak our truth, to open up that energy. And we worked really intensely on always trying to focus on that portion. That's the thing too. It's like, if you come to me with a goal, we can work on that energetically, but we can also put things in a place that can help you and coach you through standing in your voice and standing in your power. We don't have to do everything at once, so it depends on your goals. Another woman that I worked with was just in really poor mental health, and she was seeing a therapist, but she realized that her energy had to also be on par, because everything works together. These things are not separate from each other, okay? Just a lot of people coming to me about just being unhappy, not being able to know how to explore themselves and really know what they want, and then build boundaries around that. Okay, boundaries has to be one of the things that we have to have in order to have that self-preservation, in order to tell people how to treat us, okay? And then just working through that. It doesn't happen overnight, okay? I've been literally working on being authentic for 8-9 years, okay? And each time you peel away a layer, you're able to really, really see what comes next, right? I have a client that I'm working with right now. We're actually coming to the end of her program, and I am really, really in awe of all of the work that she's done. She came to me with complex family trauma, with abuse from past partners, with foggy brain, just the inability to slow her thoughts down. And she has made such an incredible transformation. I am so, so proud of her. I love to see this, right? Like, I love to facilitate people's growth. That is exactly what I am here for. That is what I want to see. And I wanted to come to you with that today because, you know, I don't just do Reiki. I don't just read a meditation out of a book. I don't just come to you guys and give you wellness tips because I like to hear myself speak. I really want you to know that there are tools that you can use right now to help yourself with your own growth. To know that it doesn't matter what you have gone through, that there is always something that you can do, and there's always something available to you so that you can be better if that is what you want. You are not broken. You're not broken. You're just struggling. And we all struggle. But there are people around us that we can bring to us and help and ask for support from, that can help us through our struggles. There is nobody in this world that has not struggled at some point in their life, okay? I know that I continue living in this existence with struggles, but I know that I can work through those because I have the ability to do that, and so do you, okay? And it may not feel that way sometimes. I have been in some dark holes. I have been so deep in depression or so deep in my problems that I have felt that I would just rather die. You know, I would just rather close my eyes and leave this world and everything would be better. But that's simply not the truth. You touch somebody in their lives every single day. Okay? You need to be here with us. I need to be here with you. We are a collective. We are all connected. All right?